July 22nd, 1979, an emergency meeting was convened. More than 400 of the country's most powerful men filed into a conference hall in Baghdad. Cabinet ministers, military officers, and senior party officials. They greeted one another with handshakes and conversation. To them, it was just another day. They had known each other for a long time. Some had worked together for decades. As the last men found their seats, the doors closed. Armed guards quietly took their positions around the room. At the front of the hall stood Iraq's new president, Saddam Hussein. The meeting began with Saddam announcing that he had uncovered a conspiracy against him. He said that there was a Syrian-backed plot that sought to overthrow him. Was it true? We don't know. Then, he called a man up to the stage. It was Muhi Abdul Hussein al-Mashhadi, the party's former secretary. He looked exhausted. Just days earlier, he had disappeared into government custody. He was tortured until he made a confession. Saddam took a seat, and Abdul Hussein took the podium. He began by reading a speech, most likely prepared for him. He begins by denouncing himself as one of the members of the conspiracy. He then proceeds to outline how the conspiracy took shape. The conspiracy involved several members of the Ba'ath Party, most of whom were present in the room. He then began to name names. The first name he read was Salman Dawood. Complete silence. Men looked around uneasily as they saw a man being escorted out by military officers. Then another name was called. Another arrest. Saddam went back up to the podium. Listen.
طبعا شلون نتصرف ويا الخونة بالنوايا. انتم تعرفون شنو اجراءنا ويا هيك خونة. لا شيء غير السيف.
And then he started naming names in rapid succession. Where were they being taken? What was to become of them? Will my name be next? What will become of my family? These were the thoughts that were probably going through everyone's head at the time. But there was no time to linger on these thoughts, because every few moments another name was called. Another spike in anxiety. Nobody knew how long the list was. The atmosphere shifted from confusion to disbelief to raw fear. Some men lowered their heads. Others buried their heads in their hands. Several broke down in tears. A few stood up to applaud Saddam, perhaps hoping to prove their loyalty. One man whose name was called stood up and said, "I didn't do anything." Saddam replied coldly, "When I have called your name, you shall repeat the party slogan and leave the room." The cameras captured everything. Saddam wanted this event to be seen. He was trying to send a message. At last, the purge was over. Saddam thanked everyone remaining for their loyalty, and the room erupted in applause. Relief. They survived. By the end of the session, around 68 Ba'ath Party members had been accused of participating in the alleged conspiracy. They were driven to prison. 22 men were sentenced to death. 33 were sent to prison, and 13 were eventually released. Within days, many of the condemned officials faced death by firing squad. According to some reports, Saddam required the surviving members to watch or participate in the executions as a means to prove their loyalty. As for the man who read the names on that fateful day, Muhi Abdul Hussein al-Mashhadi, he faced death by firing squad. This entire event was filmed and used for propaganda. Saddam's reign had begun.